From the prep level to college and on to the pros, the Inland Northwest has earned a reputation as a breeding ground for elite athletes.
And we've just felt very seen and very watched.
Join us as we celebrate some of those future and current stars who grew their game here at home.
Just cherishing my time here with the people I'm with and the place that I'm at.
Well, hello there, and thank you for joining us for this KREM 2 Sports Special. I'm Sports Director Andrew Quinn.
And I'm Caitlin Galloway. In our jobs as sports reporters, we get to talk with a lot of incredible athletes.
Over the next half hour, we want to share some of our favorite stories from the past year.
We start at Gonzaga, where there's a new women's basketball top scorer. Yvonne Ejim broke the school record midway through this past season.
I had a chance to speak with Vonnie and former top scorer Heather Bowman about the big accomplishment and Ejim's final year of college basketball.
Ejim for the record, and there's a new top Bulldog in town, Yvonne Ejim.
It's no surprise, honestly, because she works so hard. She's so diligent. She is so strong, so athletic, and just determined. And I think that's what it takes, right? That ability to take over a game and say, like, all right, this is mine now. Give me the ball. That's something that she has and that I think she's grown into, especially more this year.
It has been quite the fifth season for Ejim in Spokane. It began in the summer when she represented her country in the Paris Olympics. She has gone on to become the all-time Gonzaga leader in made field goals and rebounding, and is the first West Coast Conference player to ever reach 2,000 career points and 1,000 career rebounds.
She really is I don't know how many tools they say in basketball, 5 tools. I mean, there's not much that she can't do. She's a hell of a basketball player. She's a high-level draft pick, and she's going to have a long career, and then she's going to fix us all as a doctor after. So she's a pretty remarkable person.
Ejim only needed 15 points on Thursday to break Heather Bowman's record of 2,165 career points and become Gonzaga's all-time scoring leader. She accomplished the feat before halftime.
These records are meant to be broken, right? And that's the cool thing. It's like the program is getting better. Team's getting better, these are going to be broken, and that's the whole point of it, is that you want to leave it better than you found it. And I think Ejim is an incredible example of that, of developing this program on and off the court through the past 5 years.
It's just a really amazing feeling, just knowing that I'm doing it with my team, with this school, for this program. I'm very excited, and I'm very happy that I got to do that accolade. I know a lot of people were rooting for me, especially Heather Bowman, so it's just great to be up there with such amazing people who have come before me in this program, and I hope that my path right now just helps build like a new legacy of people and players to come.
With the record behind her, Ejim is now relishing every moment left in her college career.
Every time I step onto the court, or like put on a different jersey color, or like go to like the away games for like the last time in conference, like just soaking up some of those moments, just knowing that they'll be cherished later on. But I mean, like from the beginning, like just cherishing my time here with the people I'm with and the place that I'm at.
For all of the accomplishments the Gonzaga women have had these past few years, perhaps the biggest one belongs to the coach herself.
Last season, Lisa Fortier was diagnosed with breast cancer. Despite her health battle, Fortier has remained a leader on the court.
I just feel like I'm not the same person, and so it's interesting to try to figure out how to feel. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be authentic to me and just take every day at a time.
Toward the end of 2023, Coach Fortier didn't feel like herself. Then in January, she found a lump while she was in the shower. After receiving tests a few weeks later, Fortier was diagnosed with invasive ductal carcinoma.
I think I was caught off guard. My defenses were down a little bit. We'd had a little bit of a long week, and then just wondering what was next.
Fortier received the diagnosis at work and shared the news with her coaching staff, which includes her husband, Craig.
Definitely very shocked, caught off guard, which sounds a little bit odd given that, we were doing tests and trying to figure things out, but just certainly didn't think that was what was next. And yeah, now you kind of went from not thinking about it to like trying to figure everything out all at once. So certainly a 180 pretty quick.
Complicating matters was the fact that the Zags were in the midst of one of their best seasons in program history and well on their way to making a run in the NCAA tournament. Fortier called a meeting to break the news to her team.
I think they were expecting just another team meeting, And so I think that they were really caught off guard. I think that they were pretty shocked.
The news was particularly startling to then junior guard Esther Little.
My mum actually got diagnosed with breast cancer, and then she's passed away now, but from a different cause. But it kind of hit home for me seeing Craig in that room too, because my dad has obviously raised me and my two siblings basically as a single dad since she passed away. So knowing the possibility of what could happen is the first thing that went through my mind.
I think that they were taken aback, but very quickly, I mean, Destiny and Brenna, I remember both of those two speaking up and asking like what they could do for me, and then reminding me that they needed me to take care of myself and that they would be fine. And so it was really encouraging.
After consulting with her doctors, Coach Fortier decided to put off her treatment and surgery until after the season. Eventually, Fortier had a double mastectomy and would lose her hair due to chemotherapy and radiation treatment.
It's just a temporary thing that we have to go through right now, and that I believe that it's going to make me better on the other side of it, and the people around me for having gone through this. And so for whatever reason, this time I was able to kind of get there a little bit quicker than usual.
Fortier stepped away from the team for a period of time during the summer to focus on her health. Despite undergoing treatment, Fortier was determined not to miss this summer's Olympic Games in Paris so that she could be there for a few of her former players as well as senior forward Yvonne Ejim.
I think Coach was adamant that it was going to happen. I wasn't sure about all the logistics, but usually when she's adamant about something, it ends up happening.
I think a big part of like me getting there was coming here, so very good that like those two areas of my life could like kind of clash together in that moment.
It's that selflessness and care for her players that led to Fortier's story being shared throughout the world of women's college basketball, as she received gifts and words of encouragement from several programs and big names across the industry.
I feel grateful for so many people who care about us, and just to have the mindset of like we're going to be supportive of people, and that's our attitude, is we're going to love people well, and we do the best that we can. It's been wonderful how people have wrapped their hands around our family.
Not only that, but Fortier has also become a symbol of toughness and perseverance.
When I struggle to wake up in the morning and it's like, oh, it's a hard day, like you just think, oh, my coach is like going through cancer and going through treatment, but she's showing up to practice right now. Like, I'm not dealing with a hard day, she's dealing with a hard day. So it just makes it easier to show up when you know your coach can battle through and has the strength to show up for you.
Fortier's battle has also highlighted her strongest qualities as a human being.
She's just very consistent, and like she's more like selfless than you think she is. I think those are like two of the biggest things that I kind of learned from Coach Lisa, and just how she tackled like that experience.
It was an opportunity to just see her at her best. I've seen her at her best before, but this was a kind of continual stretch, over the course of 5-6 months, where she was just trying to be the best version of herself for other people, for herself, for our family. And so I don't know that was a surprise, but certainly you're in awe for sure.
For anyone facing a difficult time ahead, Coach Fortier's message is simple.
You can do it. There were different stages where I didn't know if I could, even as positive as I am, but trying to get outside, breathe fresh air, and just look at every day as a gift is something that I've really tried, and I think that it's really helped ease a lot of what would otherwise be considered pain or struggle that I would have had if I didn't have that kind of attitude.
Well, coming up, they're two of the best and most awarded athletes to ever come from the Inland Northwest. Up next, we're catching up with the Holt sisters.
Welcome back to our KREM 2 Sports Special. When it comes to local high school basketball icons, they don't get much bigger than Lexi and Lacey Hull.
I had a chance to catch up with the sisters last year when they were inducted into the Central Valley Athletics Hall of Fame.
I think we got very lucky growing up in a community that loves women's basketball and loves women's sports, and so for us, I think we're just really fortunate because we would play high school games and there were people in the stands, and we've just felt very seen and very watched.
High-quality women's basketball has been in Spokane for over a decade, and it isn't going away anytime soon. Gonzaga's women's basketball program hasn't had a record below 500 since the 2002-2003 season, and they've sent 10 players to the WNBA. While the Idaho and Washington State women don't have as rich of a winning history, they've both been on the rise in the last 5 to 10 years. While many of these programs prepare women's basketball players for the WNBA or other professional basketball, the Hull sisters credit Spokane and the GSL for their success at Stanford and beyond.
A lot of competitive games, a lot of amazing women have come out of the GSL, so really just feel really fortunate to have been in a place, in a league, in a community that prepared us for what came later.
The WNBA's popularity has skyrocketed. Their viewership is up 170% from last season, and Hull was involved in 3 of the most watched games as a member of the Indiana Fever with teammate Caitlin Clark.
Really fortunate to be still in the mix and still be part of that growth, and even the people that aren't playing are part of that growth, coming to games, supporting from afar, so just it's really exciting for the future.
Still ahead, their dads helped put Gonzaga on the map. Now, some Bull Pups hope to build on that legacy.
And we watch these videos and it just seemed like yesterday it's gone so fast.
From kindergarten to high school, see how Team Batman continues to win big with the lessons they learned from their dads. One of the best things about covering sports is being able to follow athletes throughout their career.
This next story is more than 12 years in the making. It started with a group of 5- and 6-year-olds on the basketball court who have now grown into accomplished high school athletes.
And it just so happens they're also the sons of Gonzaga legends. Our Mark Hanrahan catches up with Team Batman, all grown up.
And the bass keeps running, running, and running, running.
Do you remember these guys? Mike Nilsson, Matt Santangelo, and Ryan Floyd.
Shot clock turned off.
Key members of this 1999 Gonzaga team that triumphed over Florida in the Sweet 16. The critical win carried Gonzaga to its first and only appearance ever in the Elite Eight. Today, these 3 are teamed up again. This time, the former Bulldogs have their pups in tow.
My dad's Mike, and now I'm 5, and my name is Carter. My name is Luca, and I am 5, and my dad's name is Matt. My dad's name is Ryan. I'm 6. My name is Hudson.
See your ball.
Yeah! Together, this triple threat is part of Team Batman.
Rebound! Batman, right here! Batman!
I asked these 3 if someday they think they'll be better players than their dads.
We'll get back to that question in a moment, but first, let's catch up with Team Batman 12 years later.
That was before gray hair.
We look the same.
Mike Nielsen and Ryan Floyd still love basketball.
They are amazing. Seriously.
And watching their sons play. So we recently tracked them down to revisit that 2013 story and get their reactions.
1, 2, 3, Batman!
That's great. We just love getting the chance to get our kids together and teach them whatever we could about the game. That was as fun as it looked there. It was like that every Saturday up at SAC.
I don't know if I appreciated how good these kids were. Even just kind of, watching them passing and sharing the ball and shooting. And, they were 4 and 5 years old, which is amazing.
And as much as they loved coaching, their boys tell us they loved playing. Ryan's son, Hudson.
Crazy how young everybody was.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Mike's son, Carter.
I just remember how little I knew what was going on out there.
And their teammates, Brogan Howell.
Same, diving on the ball, getting after it and getting dirty.
And Jack Pierce can't help but smile when they look back at their early days.
And I just knew it I'm always going to be aggressive and just want to make shots from wherever.
That's a little far away, but it almost got there.
And it turns out that early passion for the game only grew. The 4 teammates now comprise a core group of Gonzaga Prep squad. While Lucas Santangelo decided not to play this year, G-Prep is Washington's top-ranked 4A basketball team who just clinched the district title with a win over unbeaten Richland, punching their ticket to the state tournament.
I just kind of feel like it's the chemistry we've not even really necessarily tried to build, but it's just been naturally built up over all the years.
We've known each other all our lives, and I wouldn't be surprised if you told us we are where we are just because such good friends, and yeah, definitely the chemistry.
Their dads agree.
I think the secret sauce is the friendship and the you know, any given night, someone's going to score 10 or 20 points, and they don't care as long as they're winning and playing well.
That carried through the next several years, and you see it on the court now when a player scores. They're not doing it because they're supposed to. They love it when a teammate does something good.
Now back to that pressing question from 2013.
I asked these three if someday they think they'll be better players than their dads.
At the time, little Hudson Floyd was the only one who answered yes.
I hope to be the best basketball player ever.
Better than your dad?
Turns out, he hasn't wavered one bit.
Oh yeah, he's old. I don't actually even know if I've really beat him at the competitive level because he had a shoulder surgery and a knee surgery, so he hasn't gotten to play me recently, and I think now he's just kind of dodging, just doesn't want it anymore.
Too many knee surgeries, and I'm going to live with that. If I don't play him, I can't get beat, but I think I could give him some problems in the shooting competition.
Meantime, Carter has grown more confident in his game.
Yeah, I can, yeah. Probably once I got to high school, he's like, I'm going to try now, and then I start beating him, and maybe it hurts his pride a little bit.
Those days are few and far between because if he's on, I can't beat him. So yeah, I think his trajectory and mine are just, they're crossing this past year or so.
That debate aside, we asked the dads about doing the third installment of this story 12 years from now, and what they would tell their boys teaming up to coach a new Team Batman made up of Mike and Ryan's grandkids flying around as 5-year-olds.
I'll tell them enjoy the heck out of that young phase and in every phase.
We watched these videos and it just seemed like yesterday. It's gone so fast, and so I would tell my son, just love being with your kids. Think about every practice as an opportunity just to be able to get to know them and their friends in a different environment.
I want to keep playing because it's super fun. Maybe we could play when we're older together too.
And it's still clear who they want to play for.
Play for Gonzaga.
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 Coming up next, a world traveler finds his home on the Palouse.
We hear from ND Okafor about playing basketball around the world and what it means for him to be a Coug. Welcome back to our KREM 2 Sports Special as we share some of our favorite stories from the past year.
Our final story takes us down to Pullman, where it's been quite the journey for Washington State basketball forward ND Okafor.
The big man lived in 5 different countries before he turned 19 and moved to the U.S. by himself at 16 to follow his basketball dreams. I caught up with the world traveler to chat the life of a basketball nomad. Okafor was born in March of 2003 in Lagos, Nigeria. After ND's first birthday, his family decided to relocate to Dundalk, a town of around 43,000 people in County Louth, Ireland.
My parents moved over to Ireland to just find a better job and better living. Compared to Nigeria, there's a lot of stuff going on over there. And Ireland is a pretty safe, small place.
Despite only being around a small black population and being taller than the other kids in school, Okafor enjoyed growing up in Ireland and playing the world's game.
I thought I was the same. You know, growing up, I thought, like, I looked at everyone like I'm the same as them. So we would do the same thing. We play soccer every single day. So I grew up playing soccer my whole life.
Once he hit high school, Okafor turned his attention to basketball and began getting noticed while playing for the U16 Irish national team.
It was an honor to represent my country, you know, just singing the national anthem. Over there, you represent the country, you have on the green and everything. Like, it just feels great, you know.
Once he turned 16, Okafor made his way to Dallas, Texas to chase his basketball dreams.
When I first arrived in Dallas, it was just very, like, overwhelming. Like, it was, like, as a 16-year-old, like, you know, you're leaving from a small country and you're leaving a pretty big city.
Okafor went on to make stops in Canada and the NBA Academy in Mexico, before ultimately committing to Cal to begin his college career.
It made me like grow as a person and as a man, you know, meeting new people.
After an injury ended his season early last season, Okafor hit the transfer portal and David Riley came calling.
One of my former players had played with him
and just kind of said he was a guy that looked really good in practice and hadn't really got his chance.
When I first came here, there was a lot thrown at me at first, so it took me a little while. It took me I would say a month to get everything down. But once I started to get settled and everything, it felt great. Being with these guys.
Now Okafor is looking to continue to be a strong rim protector off the bench before taking over as the Cougars' starting big man next season.
Thank you for joining us for this KREM 2 Sports Special. You can find more of our exclusive interviews on KREM 2+.
If you haven't yet, you can download it now for free and watch on your TV. KREM 2+ is home to unique sports content you won't get anywhere else, including Locked On Zags. Well, that's all the time we've got.
Thanks for watching.